Well, it certainly wasn't perfect, but it was expected. Tennessee gets a big win over Syracuse in the season opener. We chat about it. Instant reactions. This is a Locked On Vols postcast.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into it. Your Locked On Vols postcast here in the season opener. Tennessee a 45-26 winner over Syracuse. And we'll spend the next, we'll call it 15, 20 minutes. Not a full-length podcast, but did want to get out some instant reactions here. As I'm coming to you live, well, whenever you're reading this, I guess, or watching this, I guess it's not live, but coming to you from the press box here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And, it was what was expected, right? And it's kind of funny, like when I was walking down to the post-game media room, for press conferences for Josh Heupel and players, it's kind of like I kind of had this sulking feeling, kind of like, well, the game was never in jeopardy. Let me make that abundantly clear. The game was never in jeopardy, but I'm just kind of sitting here like, oh, that was ugly, or oh man, that was kind of gross. And in the grand scheme of things, you look up at the scoreboard, Tennessee scored more points than I thought Tennessee was going to score. Tennessee covered the spread, which I thought Tennessee was going to cover that spread. It was, 13.5 over there at FanDuel. Joey Aguilar exceeded any expectations that I had. Tennessee ran the football just like I thought it was. The only thing that Tennessee didn't do that I thought Tennessee was for sure going to do in this game was kind of dominate defensively. And at points and times in this game, I mean, Tennessee had 5 sacks. Tennessee had 2 turnovers. One was a scoop and score. One led to a touchdown. There were still moments, right? But it's the fact that Syracuse scored 4 touchdowns, and 3 of those touchdowns were kept alive by 4th down conversions. Tennessee just couldn't get off the field. Now, Austin Price pointed out in our VolQuest 2-minute drill. Now, I thought this was, it's something similar, something simple, but something I didn't even really think about. Like, how many of those teams are going to be willing to go for it on 4th down that much throughout the season? How many of those teams would have sent the field goal unit out? How many of those other teams you're going to play would be having the punt team come out there? And some of those were like 4th and 13, 4th and 10, right? Syracuse went for it 42 times, I believe, last year on 4th down. That's a stat I had to look up, during the game, because I'm like, man, why are they continuously going for it on 4th down? I think that's just a little bit disappointing, right? So Tennessee couldn't get off the field at certain points and times. Syracuse stayed alive. Syracuse kept driving, and then Syracuse would cash in and score touchdowns off that. So I know there's a lot of injuries. I know there's a lot of pack. That's why I love these post-game, mini pods, because I'm kind of scatterbrained because everything just happened. I haven't had a chance to sit down and go through notes and watch the tape again and kind of come to some other understandings about what went on. And that's what we'll do on Monday. But overall, this is exactly what I thought it was going to happen. I thought Tennessee was going to win this game. I thought it was going to be a no contest. I thought it was never going to be in jeopardy, and it was never, ever in jeopardy. And that's what eventually happened here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So Joey Aguilar exceeded any expectation I had for the opener. Now, again, Tennessee's going to play Georgia in 2 weeks. Tennessee's going to play some really good defenses in the Southeastern Conference. Syracuse's defense, we'll keep an eye on this year, okay? Syracuse overall. I don't think Syracuse's defense is going to be anything to brag about this year. I think they're coached pretty well on the offensive side of the football. I mean, you took a team that broke records in the ACC with Kyle McCord last year, and you replaced everybody, and that offense still put up a ton of numbers and yards against the Tennessee defense that was missing a lot, sure, but still a very respectable defense. And the overreaction, everybody's want to say, what's the overreaction going to be Sunday morning? What's the overreaction going to be, whenever you're heading back from Atlanta? And I would have never thought that people are thinking the defense is going to be bad, right? Like let's check ourselves, okay? Was this a good day for the defense overall? No. Did they have some moments? Did they flash? Absolutely. Hello, scoop and score touchdown, interception, 5 sacks. There were moments the defense did very, very well. Do I think this is going to be a bad defense all year long? Heck no. Absolutely not. Again, there were points and times in the second half when that front 7 out there, oh my goodness, because of injuries, and so many people got banged up in this football game, and that's something we're going to have to watch this week for sure. It's like tracking all these injuries and seeing who's right, who's going to be okay. If there's any doubt at all against ETSU, hold them out, right? You want to hold them out, but to get them ready for Georgia. But I think this defense is going to be just fine heading on, throughout the year. So that's kind of one overreaction that I just kind of chuckle at. I'm like, can we just get through one game before we make season declarations on what this team or what one of the units on the side of the football is going to be? So, but no, Joey Aguilar looked really good, man. I thought that he was comfortable. I thought he was confident. Josh Heupel spoke about his quarterback in post-game press conference, and he said, just credit him, man. I mean, he came in and did the work. He came in and put his head down, did the work, gained the trust of his coaches, of his teammates, and that allowed him to go out there and do what he did today. And I thought the coaching staff, Joey Halsley, Josh Heupel, I thought they did a good job of kind of like calling a friendly game for him, right? Doing things that allows him to be successful. That's also called good coaching. Putting him in positions to be successful. I thought Tennessee's coaching staff did a lot of good work in that regard. And I thought he settled in and was comfortable. And, man, that 73-yard touchdown to Braylon Staley, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, had a heck of a first touchdown in orange, right? I mean, first and foremost, let's go back here and let's talk about that play. Where was the safety? Where on earth was the safety? Okay, you had a safety. It was play action. The safety's bit on the play action, so all Braylon Staley had to do was get an inside release and blow past the corner. There was no inside help, right? And he split the corner on the high safety that was trailing back and, brought that in there for a touchdown. What a throw, what a catch, and what a moment for Tennessee. What a moment for Joey Aguilar. I thought that was really, really cool. So that was one of his touchdowns. His touchdown to Star Thomas, beginning of the third quarter, off-platform scramble drill. Okay, that's a clear example of making something happening on the run. Like, that was not how you drew it up. That was not designed, okay? That was a scramble drill. And he saw Star Thomas was rolling to his left, got his hip center, got his feet set, and threw off platform. If you watch on YouTube, I'm giving you a nice little demonstration, right, in this teach tape. I thought that was a great off-platform throw. I thought that was something that was really, really impressive. And, credit Star Thomas for going to the end of the whistle as well. And then later on, he threw a nice little touch pass there to, Matt Ray called it a fadeaway shot in the back of the end zone there to Miles Kitzman for his third touchdown of the day. So I thought Joey Aguilar was really, really good. I was very impressed with Joey Aguilar. And overall, Tennessee's offense, and I'll get to the offensive line here in a moment, Tennessee's offense was super impressive. Had nearly 500 yards of total offense. Let's see here. Sorry, I've got my game book right here. Tennessee had 493 yards of total offense, 247 passing yards, 246 rushing yards, so nearly a 50-50 split. Tennessee averaged like over 7 yards per play. You had Syracuse that had 377 yards of total offense, 274 through the air, 103 on the ground. Credit Tennessee's defensive line for getting sacks to bring that rushing total down. I thought Tennessee's offensive line did a heck of a job. For Tennessee's offensive line to have 240, block for 240 rushing yards, that is a heck of a stat. 246 rushing yards. Deshaun Bishop was fantastic. I'll talk about the running backs here in a moment. I'll talk about David Sanders, but overall, who didn't play in this football game, overall, really, really impressed with what the offense did. So let's talk about those running backs. Let's talk about that offensive line. David Sanders, why did he not play, right? And, let's continue to break down what this was. This was a 46-25 win for Tennessee over Syracuse in the season opener. That is more coming up next as we continue this Locked On Vols postcast edition. I'm Eric Cain. College football is back. Look behind me, right? I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing quite like it. But let's be real. Actually, getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use Gametime, the app that gives an advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets and best prices with no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay. I pulled up the Gametime app just in time with a couple of tabs. I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about favorite college football games as low as $25. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way that I've bought tickets before in the past. So I encourage you to take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets today with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, put in their promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, Put in that promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go download Gametime today. So a big shout out to our friends over at Gametime, and also I want to tell you about our friends over at Upside. Hey, Locked On Vols fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up by using the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the Apple Store or Google Play right now, okay? And start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, e-gift card, Amazon, and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Love that part. Download the free Upside app now using the limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for full terms and conditions. Go check it all out today. That is at Upside. Hey, what's up, everybody? Giving some instant reactions. Little Locked On Vols postcast. Season opening win over Syracuse. Tennessee 45, the Orange 45, the Orange 26. It was a 19-point win. Tennessee covered, just like we thought Tennessee was going to cover. Offensively, again, that's the story for me, right? Very impressed with Joey Aguilar. Very impressed with these running backs. So Star Thomas led the way. I thought he looked good. I thought he ran extremely hard. Head down, 92 yards on the ground. He caught that touchdown off platform from Joey Aguilar there in the third quarter. I thought Deshaun Bishop impacted the game in several different ways, right? He had 82 yards on the ground. He had a long rush of 47 when he was tackled in the backfield, and he just kept his feet moving and was able to get out of that. He also hauled in 2 receptions for 44 yards. One, a beautifully designed screen there on the opening drive where he picked up a first down. So I thought Deshaun Bishop made an impact. Peyton Lewis, 38 yards on 8 carries. He found the end zone just rumbling over a defender. Peyton Lewis, just his physicality in the run game, I really liked. Juwan Morris even got in there and got a couple of carries as well. So I really liked what I saw from the running back room, and we knew that was going to be a strength. And I love the fact that they were using those guys in the passing game, right? If you have a strength, utilize it. Utilize it. And Tennessee did that. And David Sanders, Josh Heupel said he had an injury late in practice on Wednesday. They thought he was going to be able to go. They ended up holding him out. He was devastated. He wanted to be out there. He's been a great teammate. So I hate the fact that he didn't get to make his Tennessee debut here today. But a lot of people have been asking, well, what happens if one of the tackles get hurt, right? Well, if it's Lance Hurd, you'll flip David Sanders over to left tackle, and then you'll figure something out, right? If it's David Sanders like it was today, then you had to figure something out. I thought the question for me was, would you bump Jesse Perry out and bring in a guard, or would you play Bennett Warren? And I think that it could have been different, like if it was long-term or just for a series. Like say David Sanders started the day, he had to come out for a series. Maybe it would have been Bennett Warren so you don't disrupt everything, right? But since they knew that he wasn't going to play all game, to get the best 5 on the field, you had Jesse Perry, who's your starting right guard, bump out and play right tackle. That way you could flip your left guard, Wendell Moy, over and bring in Shamu Morrow, who was very close to winning the starting guard job in fall camp, and he was able to start and have a pretty good day there with Sam Pendleton at center and Lance Hurd at left tackle. I love that we got that question answered. What happens if one of the tackles get hurt? We just saw it there. And I'll go back and watch the tape. I'll check Pro Football Focus, snap counts, all that and more. I thought Jesse Perry did a great job. I thought Shamu Morrow had a fantastic game as well. Credit Tennessee's offensive line. This was not the plan, okay? David Sanders was not supposed to get hurt in Wednesday's practice. He did. He's held out. Josh Heupel, pretty confident that he's going to be back and ready to go playing for ETSU this week, which is great. But I love that question got answered. Like, what happens when one of the tackles? Well, we saw it, and the job well done to those guys. Again, Tennessee nearly had 500 yards of total offense here tonight. It's really good. It's really, really solid. So, again, the downer part of the day is the defense. The downer part of the day is, I guess I didn't take into credit that the system that Fran Brown has done on the offense side of the football is a pretty good one. Obviously, I know what they did last year. I thought Steve Angeli at times looked scared. For the most part, though, I thought he had a really good game. I did. I loved, and you're going to give up a play, right? Okay, it's football. You're going to lose a play. You're going to lose a one-on-one battle. It's what you do that next play. I'll tell you what, Colton Hood was fantastic. Ty Redmond, true freshman, was awesome. Jalen McMurray played a pretty good game. So we have all these positives on defense, yet what happened then? It's because they couldn't get off the field on fourth downs in some of those big situations. And Tennessee did not have any defensive tackles because they all got hurt. And Tennessee was playing a ton of players, young guys, a couple of walk-ons at times in the front seven, or former walk-ons, I guess, because you were just so thin at points and times. They got to get healthy. Obviously, Boo Carter played a ton in this game as well, and had the quarterback wrapped up on one of those fourth down plays. It's unfortunate, right? That could have been a big-time stop, but the missed tackle led to points the other way as well. So I think the defense is going to be fine. We'll go back. We'll watch the tape. Any way you want to spin it, though, this is exactly the outcome we thought it was going to be. Maybe not how we got there, but covering the spread with ease, winning big, that's exactly what happened. Tennessee 45, Syracuse 26. Eric Cain here on a Locked On Balls postcast. We'll come back Monday morning. I'll have watched the tape. I'll have a couple of different articles out there. We'll get you set for ETSU week. We'll get you set for a lot going on this upcoming week as football season. It is here. Appreciate you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Congratulations if you were here. Hope you had fun. Tennessee's 1-0, a start to the 2025 football season, a 45-26 win over Syracuse.